Fortnite, Chapter 7, Season 2. The season is coming to a close in about a week or less than a week whenever this video is released. For the first time, I'm giving a review of the season. So here we go. I want to preference the start of this. Full disclosure on my level in the game. I am a mid player, casual, and I'm a zero builder. So everything I say here is about the zero build side of things and from a casual player standpoint. So let's get started with the breakdown. It's been an interesting season of Fortnite, I should say here. I feel like they threw everything they could at this season because most people didn't like season 1. I feel like that was their reasoning for throwing everything that they could throw at this season. And for me personally, that could be a mixed bag. I mean, I had a lot of fun moments this season. There's a lot of things in the game that is fun. At the same time, I still question whether the fact that Fortnite, have they run out of ideas at this point? It feels like if you play this game for a while, a lot of things that they introduced to the game are just things that have been in the game before. The only things they like to give people power-wise, as I call it, if you look at the last few chapters, seasons, whether it was medallions, whether it's an exotic weapon, or whatever, what does it do? Either makes you run faster, low gravity, invisibility, which I always think is stupid in a shooting game to have something make you invisible, or infinite stamina and things like that. That's their go-tos. Every weapon in the game is just a variation or a reskin of a weapon that's been in the game before. There's a lot of things that are in the game that are let's take the power gloves for instance. They're basically nitro fist. Just add a little bit of effect to it, which is the slap effect. And nitro fist, I think you can only move one way. With power gloves, with your directional buttons, you can move in different directions. I think the problem is it started back in season 1. I'm used to when a new chapter rolls out that obviously you get new everything, new map, new guns, new everything. Instead, this season, what do we get? And I'm referring to season 1. I was shocked when I loaded into a season 1 game and we were bringing back weapons that were in the game before. And if I'm not mistaken, most of the time when you start a new chapter, 99% of the things in the weapons are brand new. I would say there's a 1 to 5% of the loot pool may be something from the past. It might be like 1 or 2 things. All right, a segment in my reviews where I look at the plus, which is the things I think are positive in the season, and minuses, things that were not so great for me during the season. Let's start with the plus. The update rollout being gradual over time, keeping things fresh throughout the season. Okay, most updates and major updates happen weeks apart. All right, you'll get a big update and all the things will be thrown in there. But this season, unlocking things over time kind of kept things kind of fresh over time. So I think that was a plus. It kept the season kind of different and ever changing, almost like every few days. So I think that was a positive. Definitely a plus. Another plus, the rivalry board. The rivalry board, obviously a enhanced version of the bounty boards that we used to have in the game. I think it was actually pretty positive. The zero build update. I have been saying for a long time that it's time to separate zero build from build. Right? It's okay that one mode has something that the other doesn't. And it looks like they're finally going in that direction. Now, as every change they made, like something I'm happy with, I would say maybe glider redeploy is a little bit on the annoying side at times, but you know what? Building has building. They can jump off anything and just build to save themselves. So I guess it kind of makes sense. I can't really make an argument against it, but I do think this is a step in the right direction, separating zero build from building. That we have things that are specifically for this mode that building doesn't have, and it should be that way. Here's some of my minuses for the season, some of my more negative things for this season. Bugs and glitches. I feel like when you're throwing a bunch of weapons from a different seasons and things into a match, now as a player you feel like everything should just work, right? You don't know that there's technical glitches when there's like, if this weapon's introduced here, it might affect something with the game here and things like that. So when you're throwing in guns from all different types of seasons and things, I think that contributes to the bugs and glitches. But the bugs and glitches have been pretty bad at times. I remember the Overwatch update and getting the kinetic blade and it just being like, I think one time I couldn't switch off of it, or I would be flying weirdly and things like that. And I played one game that day and I remember that happening and I just turned the game off. But the bugs and glitches have been awful, and the exploitation of it at times has been awful. Another minus is the theme of the season. And this isn't just chapter. I keep saying chapter because it doesn't make sense that Fortnite has the chapter first and then the season. It should be season then chapter. But this has been a chapter 7 problem. For me, the themes have just, I don't know, they seem like it's lacking. What was last season's theme? I can't even remember what it was. I'm sitting here trying to think of it right now. I cannot. That's how lackluster it was. I can't think of it. Now I can think back to chapter 6, the hero season, Lawless, the bug season. I didn't like all those seasons, but I can remember the themes of those seasons. But I do know this season was Showdown. And obviously feeding on people's tribalism on picking a side. If you give someone an either or choice, get ready for the fights and the debates and the arguments to start, because the tribalism will begin. But that was the theme of this season. I don't know. It just doesn't feel, it just feels like I'm playing almost like Reload in a way. Because Reload is its own thing, but it has like all these kind of different guns from all different seasons in there. And that's kind of how this season felt. It doesn't feel like it had a common thing. It's just, let's throw everything from every season in here. Things that people loved, things that people did not like so much. And I almost feel like that was a Hail Mary because, again, chapter 1, season 1 was such a dud. My last minus, although I like the weapons, the loot pool, I should put this in my plus. The weapons, this is one of the few loot pools where you could pick up almost anything. Yes, there might be 1 or 2 items, but for the most part, you could pick up anything and use it effectively. It doesn't feel like, oh my God, I picked up this weapon, I'm going to be at a big disadvantage. Almost everything's felt like it was interchangeable. But I felt like the weapons, most of them were too OP. Like a gold pistol, you can shoot someone in the head twice, and what? That is 124 damage. Right? If I'm not mistaken. 2 pistol shots. Have a person's health gone in 2 shots. Like, it felt like at times you didn't have time to think. And again, I know it's about reaction time and everything, but like if you got caught out there and someone just, you didn't see the person and they saw you, all of a sudden you getting hit pretty hard. So I don't have a problem with the weapons themselves. Personally, I feel like they should have cut down on the damage of the weapons just a smidge, just to make it a little bit more, I don't know, balance. But overall, I thought the season was fun at times, and this is something that I should have preferenced at the beginning as well. I do feel like I played probably about 90% of my games solo this season. Probably the most solos I have played in a long time. So I'm also speaking from a place of not having teammates a whole lot. Now the last couple weeks I've had some team games, and it does feel a little bit different in a team game, and I do think it's a little bit more fun in a team setting. And solos are always going to be intense because I always say you have no choice really, because you're there by yourself, but to be more competitive, right? And for me, I'm like working on my weaknesses or something, or you're just out there competing against someone else. It isn't like the camaraderie of a team, and that alone can carry a Fortnite session without like having a lot of success or a lot of wins and things like that at times. But if you're playing solo, I feel like bottom line of what I'm trying to say is it's just solos, you can't really help but to be more in a competitive mindset. But overall, Chapter 7 Season 2 was fun at times. This is like a Dr. Frankenstein's monster season, where they just patched little things together from other seasons and threw it in here. And again, I'm starting to deduct for unoriginality with Fortnite stuff, because they haven't come up with a lot of new good ideas in a long time, it feels like. The new things that they bring to the game are just reskins of old stuff, and maybe they'll add an effect to it, such as slap or anti-gravity or something like that. My final score for Chapter 7 Season 2, I'll give it on the Hex scale a 6.9, solid for this season. At this point, again, almost a week away from the season, I have no idea what they're thinking of for next season. By the time this video out, maybe we'll have some clues. But again, closing statement, closing summary, not a bad season. And we can't give people credit at times, because I see this in the video game industry, right? Because like a previous chapter, season, or game is bad, and then they release the next one and it's playable, and people will give it more bonus points for that. For example, WWE 2K20 was a broken game. By the time WWE 2K22 came around, it wasn't broken like 2K20, and it felt like people were giving it credit because they made a functioning game, just because they put out a terrible one. Season 1 was probably a bad season. And because we no longer had the lock on AR, lightning gun for most of the season, even though it's back right now, I feel like that alone made people more positive toward this season. Just because season 1 was bad, I'm not going to give season 2 higher marks because they didn't completely screw it up. But for me, I don't know. I'm looking for some new ideas from Fortnite. I'm looking for some more originality. And as a guy that's played this game for years, a lot of these weapons and guns just feel like reskins of old stuff. And I'm looking for something fresh. Will we get more of a refresh next season? We'll find out. Until next time, I'm JohnHexx, and I am